For 3 years, I worked as a 911 operator in my city. It's not a job for the faint-hearted, and while I'm not the toughest person around, I considered myself strong enough to handle it. Over the years, I received plenty of horrific calls, some which left me emotionally drained but none that made me seriously question my life choices. That is, until the afternoon of January 19, 2011. I remember that call vividly, even after years of trying to repress it. Even today, I still have nightmares. This call drove me over the edge, and I quit my job as an operator. I felt like such a coward, but I was so traumatized. My calling in life was still to help people, so I went back to school and became a nurse. I've started over, but that damn call continues to haunt me. The following is a transcription of that call. I remember it word for word. Me, 911. What's your emergency? Caller, hello? This is 911, right? Me, yes. Caller, thank God. I need you to send help, like right now. Me, what is the nature of the emergency? Caller, this is gonna sound really weird. Me, I'm listening. Caller, I swear this isn't a joke. Me, tell me what's going on. There is a brief pause. The caller can be heard breathing heavily. Caller, I'm trapped in my own basement. Me, excuse me? Caller, trapped. I'm being held hostage. Me, by who? Caller, I don't know who she is. I was doing laundry when she came in through the boarded-up window that leads into the basement. She smashed right through the wooden planks. When I yelled at her to get out, she ran up the basement stairs and locked the door. Now she's walking around upstairs, making these ungodly noises. I tried to escape through the broken window, but the opening is too tight. Me, do you have any other means of leaving the basement? Caller, I considered breaking down the door. But I know she's waiting for me. I can't risk it. Me, okay. Can you tell me your address? Caller, I'm at, location omitted. Me, okay, the police are on their way, sir. Just hang in there. Caller, will you stay on the line with me? Me, of course. In the silence that follows, heavy footfalls can be heard, as well as a shrill, maniacal giggling. By now, I am getting seriously unnerved, but I don't let it show. Caller, do you hear that? Me, yes. Caller, that's her. Me, sir, can you describe what this person looks like? Caller, she's old. Like, really old. She has ass-length gray hair and no teeth. But she moves so fast. I've never seen an old woman move like that. Me, anything else you noticed? Caller, she's naked. Something is really wrong with her body, she's all twisted and deformed. The giggling abruptly stops. I don't hear anything, but the caller begins to freak out. Caller, oh shit, oh fuck. She's just outside the door. She's scratching at it. And she's whispering. Me, what is she saying? Caller, wait, I can't hear, holy shit. She's repeating my name over and over. Her voice. It's too deep for a woman. Me, stay calm, sir. The police are on their way. Caller, I don't think I have much time. There is a loud crash as the basement door is kicked in. The caller screams. I hear pounding footsteps and crashing as he tries to escape. Me, sir? Sir? What's going on, sir? Caller, she's coming after me. The cacophony continues. I can hear the intruder screaming, but she doesn't sound human. Her cries are deep and guttural. I begin to shake, silently praying for the police to arrive. Caller, no. Stop. Get away from me. There is a clatter as the phone is either dropped or forcibly knocked from the caller's hand. Now all I can do is listen. Caller, what do you want from me? Intruder, you know what? Caller, no, I don't, you crazy bitch. Just get the fuck out of my house. Intruder, this isn't your house. It is mine. It is where I lived and where I died, and where I will get my revenge. The caller begins to sob. Caller, but I don't know who you are or what you're talking about. Intruder, you will regret what you have done. The caller screams as the intruder attacks. She snarls and growls like a rabid dog. I can hear the meaty tearing of flesh, and the cracking of bones. The caller's shrieks of agony are abruptly silenced by a sickening snap. Then I hear a new voice, deep and full of malice. Intruder, hello? Me, I don't know who you are, but the police are coming to arrest you. Intruder, oh, silly girl. I'm afraid it is far too late. Nothing can save this young man now. Not even the Lord himself. The line goes dead. When the police arrived at the given address, they found the house ransacked, with all the windows shattered and the furniture in pieces. There was a disgusting smell of something rotting in the air, but the cops were unable to trace it. They found the victim in the basement. He had been gutted alive before having his neck snapped clean in two. The killer was never caught, and to this day, the case remains open. My decision to quit didn't come right away. For a while after, I was in shock and lacked the emotional capacity to make any decisions. I took a temporary leave and spoke to my therapist, hoping I could recover from this and turn to work. But then the autopsy report on the victim came back. I normally wouldn't be privy to this information, but I have a good friend who works at the coroner's office, and he told me everything. According to the autopsy report, the victim had died at approximately 12:15 p.m. 2 hours before the call came in. When I was very little, too young to grasp the cold, often cruel reality of our world, a doctor told my parents that an extremely rare genetic disorder would slowly take away my sight and hearing. There is no cure or treatment, he said. Just be thankful that we live in a country with so many resources for disabled people. I spent the following years in limbo, knowing deep down that I would eventually lose my strongest connections to the world, but having no idea when it would happen. I drank in all sights and sounds, tucking them away in my memory so I could still hold them close even after the silence and dark took over. When I was 8 years old, my Ojibwe grandmother took me to a local shaman, hoping she could cure me. The mystical old woman was unable to heal my eyes and ears, but she found that I had a strange gift, a heightened spiritual awareness, a gift for sensing beings beyond the realm of the human world. However, the gift was also a curse, as it made me vulnerable to evil spirits and demons. 1 month, my ears began to fail. It didn't occur overnight, mind you, it was slower than the flow of a glacier. But soon, I could no longer hear the voices of my loved ones or the chirping of crickets in the woods behind the house. I could no longer hear the chirping of birds or the hissing of sprinklers. I couldn't even hear the wind whistle past my open bedroom window. But I could hear them. The screams. They would come at night, when I was asleep, or in the day, when I was meditating. There were so many of them, hundreds no, thousands of voices, all crying out in agony. They were so loud, drowning them out was impossible. Even after my ears declined to the point where I couldn't even hear myself breathe, the screams continued. My eyesight went during my teenage years. I had to learn to read Braille and walked with a white cane. My family and friends communicated with me via tracing letters into my palm. Despite this, I attended mainstream classes and was a bright student. Through all this, I was still being haunted by the screams. I spent hours researching, scouring the internet and books for answers. I learned of similar cases, but no exact matches. What I really wanted to know was why I could still hear the screams, even though I was, by this point in life, almost completely deaf. When I was 17, I got my first guide dog, a chocolate lab named Hazel. At night, when the screams played on a torturous loop in my head, I would sense the dog sniffing, growling, and pacing. Whatever spirits were tormenting me, she could feel them too. After high school graduation, I began attending one of the local universities in my city. I had been offered a scholarship based on my excellent grades, and a lot of the professors acted stunned that a poor little disabled girl like me could accomplish such a feat. But I loved university regardless. I met an older boy named Eric, who lived on campus and had a fascination with the occult. We became friends and eventually began dating. One night, I told him about the screams. I felt him tense beside me, and he took my hand. Youcanstillheartmeventhoughyyouaredeaf? Why yes, I stammered, confused. Why? mygrandmawascompletelydeaf. Sheheartthemtoo. Eric went on to explain that for most of her life, his maternal grandmother had heard the screams as well. Unlike me, she had been deaf from birth, so they couldn't have come from memory. She was eventually cured after seeking the help of her church's minister. I'm not religious, and neither is my family. But I wanted the screams to stop, so I consulted a priest. He came to my home and purged me of my spirits. Of course, I couldn't see or hear any of this, but according to my parents and sister, he spoke in tongues, and the lights kept flickering on and off. I myself went very stiff, as if rigor mortis had struck me, and my sightless eyes rolled back in my head. When it was all over, I felt lighter, somehow. Everything felt cleaner and happier, but kind of empty as well. Those screams had been filling the void caused by my blindness and deafness, and I was left in the dark. I'm now married to Eric, and currently pregnant with my first child. I haven't heard the screams in 7 years. But I can still sense the spirits. They hover in the air around me, sometimes pressing against me, their skin cold as a frozen pond against mine. I can feel the vibrations in the earth as they walk around me. The reason I am telling my story is because I believe that somewhere in the world, there are others just like me. And no, I don't mean others who have a heightened spirit awareness, but those whose abilities seem to exceed their physical limitations, go beyond what they should be able to see, hear, or feel. I'm profoundly deaf. I can't even hear myself breathe. But somehow, I was able to hear the screams in the void. I can't be the only one. I need to know who those spirits were and why they chose me. I need to know what they were trying to tell me, and what kind of suffering they had to go through to produce such horrific screams.